What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to our analysis breakdown tribute on Dolph Schayes. He was really good at getting to the rim, using that first step and that strength and that body and that length to get to right to the positions that he wanted to get. He didn't have the flashiest handle. He didn't really have the crazy hesitation or crossover. He just understood how to use his speed and his quickness to his advantage and trick his opponents from time to time and also just attack at the right time and finish. He also had a nice little floater game to him where you thought that he would be going to the paint and then he'll hit you with the floater because you gave him too much space. And he also was able to catch the ball deep in the paint and go straight up and finish around the rim because he constantly kept moving to look for open opportunities. And he even found those with the jump shot. This is a shot that you rather give him because it was a hard and tough shot even back then like it is today. But this where no 3-point line was there and he still practiced that shot and really perfected that shot. And he also can shoot it left-handed, and he played the entire season left-handed. And he ended up still being a good finisher. He can finish with contact. He can also draw contact, and he can also knock down free throws with either hand because he was ambidextrous. Not only that, he was a good passer. He averaged 3.1 assists per game, mostly with fine shooters. He also had the ability to put his head down and get rid of the ball early so his teammates can find lanes and other opportunities to score. But he was always moving with the dribble too, and he also would set screens to get his teammates open to get good looks that way too. Then it was just about them finishing off the play and knocking it down. He also was a good transition passer. He also was able to be a good rebounder. Was over 10 rebounds per game basically for majority of his career, and he was able to fight amongst the trees and get good boards and set his teammates up for transition opportunities. Hayes was a madman back in the day in the NBA, had one hand in the cast, and still chose to find a way to get out there on the court and play with his teammates. I mean, they made it to the playoffs 15 out of 16 seasons that he played, showing you that he had a high impact on this team and obviously was one of the best players in the league for a long period of time, over a decade. This was a man that played till he was 35, and at the end of the day, this man still played a huge role on the teams that he was a part of. He had high minutes, 39.6 minutes some seasons, 40 minutes some seasons. And if you can be in that 36 or higher, which he did at multiple seasons, it just shows you how needed and how much they wanted you to be out there on the court because of how much of a difference you can be able to make. I know his field goal percentage isn't the craziest when you look at other players or modern players, but this was a different time where you was more physical, more touchy, more grabby, more pulley, and there's nothing you can really do but try to match the physicality by not being afraid of it or being shy of it. And he did that. This was a man that attempted over 7 free throws per game for over a decade. Sometimes he got to a point where he was getting 9 or more free throws a game, and he was able to shoot 90% and lead the league in free throw shooting. Not only that, he was able to be one of the best free throw shooters in the entire game. Field goal percentage might not show he was a great scorer, but the fact that he found a way to get to the paint, found a way to hit the floaters, hit the mid ranges, and hit shots far distance without even get rewarded with another point because 3-point line didn't exist. It just shows you that this man was way ahead of his time and really understood where the NBA was going and was showing you that I can do this now. But the rebounds are absurd. This man put up several 20 and 10 seasons. He actually averaged 18.5 points and 12.1 rebounds by the end of his career, and he probably could have averaged more, but he ended up not playing as much as he did when he was younger, which does make sense because he was a little bit more beat up and a little bit more worn out, which most players do when they're in that type of era when it's all physical. So your body is going to take a lot of damage for that, but he still was able to put up godly type of numbers for an early version of the NBA, and he was one of the best players and one of the pioneers for being one of the bigs that can space out the floor and get to the basket and knock down free throws. And not only that, he retired as an NBA champion in 1955. Well, he retired being an NBA champion in 1955. He was the number fourth pick by the New York Knicks, and he played 1948 to 1964. And not only that, he was a 12-time NBA All-Star from 1951 to 1962, always being one of the best players in the league for the most part of his career. Not only that, he showed you he was amongst the elite players in the league because he was a six-time All NBA first team player from 1952 to 1955. He also made it in 1957 and 1958. And when he wasn't doing that, he was a six-time All NBA second team player 1950, 1951, 1956, and 1959 through 1961, being a 12-time All Star and being one of the best players in the league each and every season for the most part of his career, especially when he was healthy. Shows you how great of a player he was. 12 All NBA teams is really hard and really tough to do for anybody, and he did it consistently throughout his career until he got older. But he also finished with a rebounder and leader title in 1951. He also was part of the 25th anniversary team, which means he was able to make the 50th and the 75th. He was also the NBL Rookie of the Year in 1949, and he did have his number 4 jersey retired by the Philadelphia 76ers because obviously the Syracuse Nationals turned into the Philadelphia 76ers, which he ended up leaving the national team to go to be a Sixer and play there. So that's how it ended up happening. He was also the Haggerty Award winner in 1948, and he also was a fun fact NBA Coach of the Year in 1966. This was a man that scored over 19,000 points. Was the first guy to score 15,000 points. And he did that because, like I said, he averaged 18.5 points a game. And you could say 18.2 if you look at the NBL, BAA, and NBA. And that's a lot of points, especially when you still had over 11,000 rebounds, mainly because he averaged 12.1 for his entire career, which is absolutely crazy, especially if you look at the fact that he averaged over 3,000 assists and he did 3.1 assists per game, and he was only a forward, and he was one of the first power forwards that was a little undersized, because you can say power forwards can be 6'9", probably to 6'10" or 6'11". He was only 6'8", and he was just able to make up that the difference with his speed, his quickness, and his IQ and knowledge of the game and where to be at on the floor. And that's one thing that people said he was hard to guard, because this guy was shooting a jump shot, so you couldn't really let him be too open, but then you wanted to stay up close to him or make him dribble a little bit. Then he'll dribble around you or blow right past you and make a layup and get to the free throw line. Then you say, well, if that doesn't work out, I got to find a different way. Then he'll move without the basketball. So you had to pay attention to him throughout the entire game, because he would always try to find a way to hurt you. And there's nothing you could really do because you can't touch him because it's a foul. Plus, you didn't want him to score. So you were trying to find a way to be a little bit disciplined. So it was always a head game if you went against a Dolph Schayes type of player. And he was really a 101 at the time, because most people wasn't doing it in the beginning. And then they started doing it because he was an influential player, because he was one of the best players in NBA history. Even to that point, he just didn't retire. So once they see one thing working out, once they see one thing doing well, people are going to copy it. We know the NBA has always been a copycat league. So it was no surprise that they seen, ooh, he's doing it and he won a championship. I want to add that to my game. I see the benefits of it. I see how hard it would be to stop me if I did. And then you start seeing more bigs and more players add the jump shot to their game in the floater. And it was mainly because he just made quick decisions when he had the basketball, because he knew what he could and what he couldn't do. And he just stuck to what he knew best. And he kept it simple, which is a smart thing to do because it was working for him, and his teammates loved playing with him because he was a good defender, he was a good passer, and he always was trying to find a way to get open for them, or he would help them get open, and their shots was easier, and it just helped them stay above water and be a great team for basically the amount of time he was there. And they was always in the consideration for being really a good team, and that's how you make the playoffs that many times in a row. And then when you at the end of your career, then you didn't make it, well, it happens, you know what I mean? But he was that good at being a difference maker as a player that they couldn't really win without the guy, because he was just that valuable. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell for more analysis, and you can get it right away when it first come out. I also make conversation videos just like this, but about NBA only topics, but I also do breakdowns with real footage of legends, current legends, rookies, and also future stars. I also do mock draft and draft coverage too. Not only that, I also have over 3,000 plus videos on my channel right now that you can watch for free, and I upload basically every single day. So you always got something to watch. You always got something to look forward to when it comes to NBA content and basketball content in general. Other than that, thank y'all for supporting me in the past. Thank y'all for supporting me in the present. Thank y'all for continuing to support me hopefully in the future. Thank y'all for continuing to make time for me. Thank y'all for continuing to care about what I have to say and what I make. And thank y'all in general for appreciating the content for what it is and continuing to come back for whatever your reason is. And I know I'm trying to do my best to give y'all the best content I can and mix it up and have a lot of different variety of things for y'all to watch and hear and listen to and see. That's my job as a content creator. I love this job. You guys love what I do. Y'all love how I make it. That's why y'all became subscribers. That's why y'all become fans. I just have more for y'all coming up. And like I said, the season is almost about to be here and it's about to start. So I do have rookie breakdowns coming, rundown coming back, rookie analysis, instant analysis, and you already know preseason and also what to expect will be starting September 1st, which is tomorrow. So if it's meant to be, y'all know I got y'all covered. Let's continue to realize we got a couple more videos to make to hit 4,000 total videos turned in by me. I make all the content, I promote, I advertise, I do all this by myself. It might sound crazy, but I do. Not only that, I also would say, remember this year, let's top 2015, 10-year anniversary of a big year for me. But a lot of y'all fans came that year. Let's top it this year. I think I've been more consistent. I think I've been putting out a lot of content. I think I've been putting out a lot of classics. And I like the fact y'all been enjoying them. And thank y'all for checking out the channel. For people that didn't even want to subscribe, I got most of my subscribers because people checked it out and liked it. Well, at least y'all like some of it to click. And if y'all want to like a little bit more, all I can tell y'all is to come back in the future. Or hey, I'm back here again. If you see my video again, you need to become a fan. Other than that, I'm going for now. Y'all stay blessed up. Peace. And I'll see y'all hopefully later today or tomorrow.